Welcome back to the channel. We are with the Hyundai Inster this week, and I opened it up to all social platforms as to what questions people have about it. They're thinking about buying it, or they've bought it and they want a bit of clarification on some of the details in it. In Ireland, we're getting two trims, Elegance and Signature, but depending on the country you're in, it's a bottom and top trim usually. Two different battery sizes in Ireland as well, but again, depending on your market, you might have differences between that. The first question we got was mainly about child seats, booster seats, baby chairs, all that kind of stuff. So I don't have any kids myself, so let's head over to my brother's house where he has a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. So a booster seat and a more larger child seat to see what they're like. The Inster is a 4-seater, and in the rear there's ISOFIX on both rear seats. There isn't an ISOFIX on the front seat. So that's the first piece we're going to look at, is how big is the Inster for child seats. So I've got my brother's booster seat for my niece April and the baby suite with swiveler, and so what we're going to have a look at is the door opening, how they fit in, and then what kind of space is on that rolling bench. Handle for the rear doors up on the back of the C-pillar, but look how wide that is. Here's your baby chairs and stuff like that. And as you know, on the upper level trim, these slide as well, so depending on where you need it versus where you don't need it, and if you need space in the boot, we'll cover boot storage now in a minute. So what I'm going to do is put that up there, and then we'll do this chop, and it's this sliding one either side. No kids of my own. There's only 2 ISOFIX in the rear, there's none in the front, and I'll show you now what this looks like with regards to, it's just 2 slots, and that fits in, that fits in, and then you're all the way in. You can see the green indicator there, and like acres of space. That seat can move well forward, that you don't, if the child in the booster seat doesn't have long legs, so you can have even more space in the seat. And then on the other side, we'll get that set up now. This one's a bit more substantial, so in we go. And then I can show you what it looks like to push it in. And that goes green. And then on the other side, boom, 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 boom. And then lift it up a small bit and push it. Find it. There we go. So this is one of the rotating ones as well. So, and then at the front, pull that up. Again, acres of room. We've got green lights down here, down at the bottom, and you can see how much space is in there. And I'll go around to the far side and I'll show you, like, really good space. And then with that rotated around, sorry, it's the other way it goes. It's the grunting that you like when you watch these videos, I know. One-handed, as always. So that's what it looks like rotated then as well. So that is the child seats. There is no ISOFIX, or there are no ISOFIX points on the front passenger seat then as well. So that is for the people that were asking about child seats. Loads of room. The next question was in relation to storage within the Inster. It is not a very big car. It's tall, but it's narrow. It hasn't got 3 people in the rear bench. It's only got the 2, as we discussed already. And somebody was asking about a folding bike. And that is my Fido that I had on the channel a couple of years ago, that I still have. Folds down, and with the upper level trim in Ireland, you're going to get the sliding bench, and that makes a huge difference for the ability of getting stuff in. I'll show you, I'll put it back into the boot and I'll show you around how I've set it up here. And we're going to also have a look at some of the suitcases as well, whether how many suitcases you can fit into it. But folding bike, no problem, as long as you've got the sliding bench, and it'll depend on how far forward or rear you'll actually put that sliding bench. So here is an up close version of the folding bike there. Taking the parcel shelf, if you can call it that, down, and it's just left on top of the dividers there. And then how far forward are the seats? They're not pushed all the way forward. You could probably, and I will sit in. So with a folding bike in the rear, feet still underneath, knees are not touching. And then rear headroom, like, let's swap the bike out for some luggage to see what kind of luggage configurations we can get into. One of the questions was either on Reddit, I think, or could have been on boards.ie, where they were asking about, could I pick people up from the airport? So let's take out that folding bike and let's have a look at some of the suitcase configurations we can do. Next up, we have a large holiday suitcase, 20 kg, read the size roughly, and then 2 carry-ons, all standard sizes as well. And then the large one can go in standing up when you lift up the floor. And then we can get one in, no problem, with the seat set up the same way for the folding bike with me sitting behind myself. But if I wanted to move one of those seats forward, you wouldn't really be sitting behind myself on that seat now, but you can get the second carry-on in there and then close it down. Yeah, I'll show you what that looks like, camera point of view now. And I'm not maximizing the space here at all now. So we've got the parcel shelf that I've just left in on top of itself. And then these flaps are at the back of the chairs on the upper level trim, so that when you slide it forward or you fold them flat, it's all flat. That's the floor, and I've just left the AC cable, type 2 cable in the top. And then there was another question actually, how many cables do you get? You get the 3-pin domestic charger, and you get a type 2 cable with the Insters, here in Ireland anyway. And so this could be a lot more optimized, but I'm just being a bit more realistic about it. So that is your large, and then your smaller one fits in no problem with the seat. We push it all the way back. So you still have plenty of leg room in there. With one large and one carry-on suitcase, and I can still fit in behind myself in my own driving position. Now it's tight, don't get me wrong, but knees are good, feet are good, and then head height doesn't change, still a couple of centimeters. But if I want to get that second carry-on in, move one of the chairs forward is going to sort that out. You can see here, just got that slide, and that's the real benefit of that sliding bench. And if you're not trying to do this one-handed as always, and it's getting to the stage where if you've got that seat without the ability of it having people in it, you're as well to drop it down, and then you can have all of that space then. Yeah. Move that chair forward, just so that the headrest cuts down all the way down, and so then you've got that flat, so you could put more luggage there if you wanted to as well. So you could pick up 2 people with lots of luggage, no issue. So we've looked at the bikes, we've looked at the luggage, we've looked at the child seats. Let's go and park up somewhere and go through some of the other questions that people had across the week. You would have seen this already on the channel a couple of months ago at the Nevo electric vehicle show in partnership with Bank of Ireland. I was able to get in and have a look at it the night before. I've also done a detailed review of inside and the dash. So if you're interested in understanding what the dash configuration is like, some of the differences externally versus the entry-level trim versus the upper-level trim, not much difference on the front, but you will have the likes of roof rails and slightly different wheels. And at the back, it's not LED, they're halogen, so slight differentiator on the back as well. But yeah, there's lots of really good detailed reviews out there. Brian Doolan in Fitzpatrick's garage they're a Hyundai dealer, and so he has some really great videos down there. So if you're interested in a bit more detail, dealer to dealer, he goes through the different specs as well. Some on X/Twitter, somebody asked, why is it so ugly? I was like, well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I actually don't think it's ugly. I think it's practical. Super tall, super narrow. And I'll sit in now in a minute and you can see exactly, but it's easy to park. Charging port is on the front, As I mentioned, 2 different battery sizes. Matthew on Instagram was asking me about, he's got 3 kids, does he need to sell one? And I said yes. Next question was in relation to charging curve. Speaking of that charging port on the front, so I asked Hyundai for it, and they're waiting for the word to get back. I found this charging curve online, so you can see after 70% it starts to drop down significantly, so just be conscious of that. Some Irish specific questions that I got the answers back from Hyundai Ireland. Will Ireland get the higher cross spec version? And yes, we will launch the cross in Ireland, but we've not decided what spec it will be. It could be higher. Will it come with an outlet socket and the front dash console like they have in the UK? And again, we've not ordered or spec'd the cross version for Ireland yet, so wait on that. Some people are saying they ordered last November and they were told it was going to be here in January. Any update on that? And they looked at their order book and they said they've only about 9 people left. They've recently done a shipment of 100 into Ireland, so good to get the update on that. Any plans to make the light interior available in other paint colours? It was only on the launch buttercream edition in Ireland. It will be coming to Ireland. At the moment, it's the predominant colour, if you didn't go for launch, was this black interior. And they've said what they did was they prioritised getting the car in at a really good price. That's beeping now because the ignition is left on. So it will be 2026. It's all about getting stock in, and when they limit the number of trims and specs options on it, it's very much about getting it to market as soon as possible, and we can't argue with the price. In Ireland, prices on the entry-level trim is 18,995, cheaper than Germany, cheaper than the UK, and then the upper-level trim, which this one is with the bigger battery, is around the 22,000 mark, so phenomenal value if it works for you. Will Ireland get the sunroof, the 360-degree camera and vehicle to load? We don't have those options at the moment, but it will be, they're saying yes, but it will be 2026. Focus was getting in less trim, less spec. It's still a very, very well spec'd car. Another question came in on Reddit, I think. Can you confirm that the Elegance definitely has a heat pump, which this one is the upper level trim is Elegance in Ireland? The answer is yes. The Inster in Ireland does not have vehicle to load on either of the trim levels. Somebody is saying that they got it to work. It does come up on the dash, but the hardware actually isn't on the Irish trim, Irish specs. So I'm not sure how they manage that. The 42 kilowatt signature model, which will be the entry level smaller battery, the 4 LED lights on the steering wheel, he was saying that the person was saying that doesn't work. It's only on the upper level trim. So you can see the 4 LED lights there. And so if I stick that into reverse, they'll go red, etc. So into reverse, you can see they changed the red there. So they do illuminate on that. Width-wise, like I'm 6'2", 188 centimeters, not a small lad. And I'm not bad up against here. What I loved this week was this armrest, and that's on the upper level trim. It's been great, and then the door has definitely been utilised. Now there's no padding on the door, but height, leg room, it's been flawless in fairness to it. Range, I'm getting around about a lot of motorway, up and down to the airport, up and down the M50, 100, 120, getting around 15 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometres. And so at a 49 kilowatt hour battery, that's well over 300 kilometres. Temperature has been good this week, don't get me wrong. 10 degrees, 12 degrees. So efficiency has been very good. Noise has been good. So there's been lots of good things. Very little blind spots, probably the only thing that I'd miss. But you just have to look over your shoulder. Like the olden days, but this top trim in Ireland has heated seats, air conditioning. Somebody was asking, did it have adaptive cruise control? Yes, it does. And you can see that on the steering wheel. You can see your distance and you can see lane keep, etc., etc. Your different drive modes. I've gone through this on that dash video if you're interested in that. But hopefully that's more questions answered. The space one was a big one. People are saying I don't see any videos about what's in the back. I don't see videos with car seats in it or suitcases in it. So there we go. And there's a folding bike in this video as well. And then some of the questions about vehicle to load in Ireland and some of the spec that we didn't get initially. And Hyundai Ireland just saying, listen, we got the cars as quick as we could at the best value that we could. Vehicle to load is a nicety for sure, but it's not going to come in 2025 in the models that they're expecting, but it potentially will be coming in 2026, the lighter trim coming in 2026. And so some of those bits that you would have gotten in the UK, but you've paid for because your base trim and your upper level trims are more expensive than here in Ireland. So hopefully you've enjoyed that questions answered session with the Hyundai Inster. If you like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Hit the like button, share the video for somebody that's interested in the Inster and has those kind of questions. Hopefully we've covered them today. There's a first look video up already on the channel and that detailed dash run through. And if you think any of these is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.